Hello there, beautiful people. You know what it is. Welcome back to your favorite show, your favorite tag team when it comes to this sports thing. It's Mykell Matheiu here with my guy Elam, and you know we represent the greatest city in the world, Los Angeles, California. We are the Misfits. We are here to give you that work, bring that action to you because it's a lot of action going on in the sports world and in the world in general, and we got you here covered. What's the deal, Elam?
Yo, what's up? What's up, bro? You know who it is. It's your guy Elam, and you're tuned in to the hottest tag team tandem this side of the galaxy. That's right. We are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. And you know what? I got a quote of the day. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And yes, we are dreamers, and we believe not only in the beauty of our dreams and beliefs, but we believe in you as well. So, Mykell the PG, what we got lined up for today?
Hey, we got a lot, man. You got the NBA playoffs is going on. It's cracking. We got to talk to WNBA. You know, the draft happened. The Sparks made some moves. Are they possibly contenders? UCLA football, they got their guy at quarterback. Let's see what happens. We got to talk Kendrick, Drake, some anniversaries, things like that. And a lot of great things are just going on in the world of sports and entertainment. But we got to start. The NBA playoffs 2025 started and it opened up. Not too good for Los Angeles, Elam. It was shots fired, Spider-Man web shot into people's face. It was not good. We got to start in Tinseltown, the LA team that started off here. The Los Angeles Lakers opened up with the Timberwolves, and they got laid at the smack dab on them. Smackdown, 117-95. And it was scary for me because Ant didn't even have a big game. And they found the way to win. Elam, like on your scared meter, where are you at? 1 through 10. Like, how fearful are you for the Lakers after seeing their game one performance?
Man, after all that talk about Ant, Gregorian chant, house plant, Kevin Durant, Lakers in 5.
Yeah.
Nah, man. This series going more than that. Listen, I'm more pissed off after the game hearing LeBron James says, "Oh, well, it takes us a quarter or two. It might even take us a game to get prepared for the playoffs." Dude, you've been in the league 22 years. It shouldn't have to take you a whole game to prepare for the playoffs. I've been screaming this. I've been pounding the table. The Lakers play up and down to their level of competition. The Lakers just looked outclassed. You had they were getting beat on the boards. You had Nas Reed, who I said check the tape. I told y'all that dude was going to be a problem for the Lakers, and he scored 23. He was gunning. It was like he was shooting in an empty gym. Listen, you just said Ant didn't go off. Rudy Gobert was pretty much a non-factor because the Lakers went small, so they had to take him off.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolves got too much height, and the Lakers did not rebound in game 1. Can they? I don't know. The Lakers did not shoot well from 3. Can that change game 2? It can. Will Minnesota shoot 50% from the 3-point line? I doubt it. But listen to me. You can't coach height, and you can't coach heart. And as of right now, I gotta say Minnesota looks like the hungrier team, man.
Hey, coming in, hey, and you know me, Elam. You know how I feel, you know, with ways of Braun and things like that. But I'm gonna give them a pass this time. Like I tell people today more than ever, the NBA regular season and playoffs is so different, right? The way that the referees call the game, the physicality and things like that, that you do have to kind of adjust. And you saw the Lakers kind of were like thrown off, like, okay, they're not gonna be calling this. We're going to be able to get away with this, and it showed. And it takes me back to 2020. You remember the 2020 bubble championship, Elam?
They Lakers, lost game 1. They was
the game 1 losers. Yeah. It was like game 1. All right, we saw that. We gonna figure you out. We gonna win. And not until like my panic level will probably be a 3 because they do have this next game at home which, I feel that LeBron and Luka, Austin Reeves, they're going to figure a way out. It's going to be on Coach JJ Redick as well. Like, this is a time more than ever that coaching truly, truly matters, because there's one team that you have to focus on. So you have to see, this is what they did in game one. How can we find something to beat them? And each game is like you went from during the regular season, and now in the postseason is chess. So you have to see how you're going to play this chess. And, a lot of things, Luka, they were like, hey, we're going to try to force Luka to score 60. He had 1 assist. He's going to have to try to find a way to make to get other guys some buckets. I'm not feeling too bad about this. Of course, you wanted the Lakers to come in and smack them up. We Laker fans, that's what we want them to always.
But it's not that we wanted to. We expected. We were waiting for that light switch to get flipped, man. And they still napping, bro. They still napping.
But I had the Lakers in 6 anyway. I didn't. Everybody, all this 5 sweeping the Timberwolves. I'm like, y'all. First of all, y'all ain't watched the Lakers all season long to think they about to just come in and wash any team like that. Especially the Timberwolves, who I feel like the Lakers, they're a little bit more built for the playoffs, where where they can be a little more physical. The game kind of slows down. They can play in the half court, where a guy like Naz Reid looks even better in the playoffs, because we saw it last year. So not too big of a panic yet, but Tuesday night, we both going to be in the building. If things don't go the way that we expect, Elam, it is going to be scary hours for the Lakers.
Listen, I know it's only game 2, but this is already a must-win game for the Lakers.
Facts,
man.
I agree.
If Minnesota is able to walk out of LA up 2-0, it might be a gentleman's sweep the other way, man.
Hey, LeBron got to show up early. He kind of
took got to show up.
Yeah, Austin got to show up. Rui had 9 points. The bench, like, they got to try to find some production there. Gabe, whoever it is that comes in, try to give you something. They got play dog connect, bro.
And the crazy thing is, that's been the one of the Lakers' Achilles heels all season. It's that the bench, they too scattered. It's like one game they give you 30 points. The next game they give you 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no consistency when it comes to bench scoring. The Lakers this offseason, they got to get some other ancillary players to come off the bench, and they got to get some hype, man. They got to get some dogs.
We can't move that fast. They got to deal with what they have, and this is what we got.
I'm already thinking about the offseason, bro. I'm already thinking about the offseason.
So it's a wrap for you already, huh?
No, I'm not saying it's a wrap. The only player that I saw that came prepared, like ready to play, ready to fight, ready to it was my boy Vando. My boy Vando was like, all right, come on. Like I'm here for it. And Lucas showed up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He gave you what, 35, I think.
37.
77 was souping, but when it comes to like mentality, like dog, like Vando want all the smoke. I just wish there were like 2 other dudes that had that same flair, that same yo no sé quoi. You feel me?
No, and they got to figure it out, because it didn't look good at all. They were getting smacked up, it seemed like, from the jump. But they got game 2 Tuesday night. The Misfits are going to be in the building. Come look for us. Come holler at us. We here to talk some hoop, baby.
But let's look across the city. Let's go to Inglewood. The spicy nuggets, the chicken nuggets, playing the little boats.
Man, this was a game that I really was like, yo, like, you gotta get this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how the playoffs work. When you can steal one on a roll, you have to find a way to get it. And
especially that first one.
Because it puts all the pressure on the home team now, because, like, damn, we have to win game 2. If not, we're going down 2-0, going to the Intuit, where the Clippers have been great at home, but you lose that one. And it was very uncharacteristic things that we saw. Kawhi Leonard, 7 turnovers, making some mistakes you don't usually see him make. Hey, and it came back to hurt them late. And you got to give them kudos to the West Coast legend, LA legend, Russell Westbrook, who
it's crazy, because that last 30 seconds of the regulation,
Yeah.
it totally encapsulates Russ's entire career.
You know what Russ is? My
Who?
homie told me the best way, and I said, bro, you are brilliant for this. Shout out to my guy Adam. He said that Russ is the Mario Kart. He's the item box, and when you
You
get
don't
that
know what
item,
you're gonna get.
yeah, when you
And
get that item box, you can get something
I
good.
saw that on Twitter. And it made me think about Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Instead of life, you could put Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and he gave you a big three. He gave you a big like offensive rebounds, big layups. Then he tried to give it away where he got the he was driving to the rack like, what are you doing? Y'all, they need to foul. Then he finally passed it. It's like, oh my gosh, but he did his part. Like he was playing with the effort that you needed to see from the Clippers with the being a road team, being like the kind of the underdog, coming in. You didn't see that energy. They were smacking up the Nuggets. They were supposed to put their foot on their throats, put them away, but they allowed them to hang around and make the plays that you're used to seeing them when they were, finish the season with their 8-game winning streak. It was just a tough loss. What's your thoughts on the game, Eli?
You know what? I was surprised, and from my estimation, Ivica Zubac, bro. I thought he outplayed Nikola Jokic in that game.
Okay.
Like Joker went, I want to say like 7 minutes without scoring, the last 7 minutes, and like the first, I think 3-4 minutes of overtime, without scoring, without touching the ball. Like he beat him on the boards. Of course, Joker's gonna score more than he is. But when I just look at the overall impact, it was kind of like in a home stretch in the crunch, Joker was a non-factor. It was really Russ and Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, who I said to take.
Definitely in the close moments because Jokic did have 29, 10, and 9, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it like you said, in the clutch moments, it was Russ, it was Murray, it was Brown who made the big shots to where, shout out to Zoo, 23, I believe, in 12, 21 and 12.
13.
Like
13.
13. So he did his part, and still, just like that Lakers series, Lakers lost. So you kind of feel a little more worried with the Clips. I know they lost too, but they looked like the better team for most of that game.
Most of the game. And it's an APB out on David Blaine. He disappeared, man. Kawhi Leonard. You already said it. Kawhi, you got to show up, man. This team is only going to go as far as you carry him. James Harden showed up. I want to say he had like 35.
32, 11 assists,
32
rebounds.
Listen, James was hooping. It's all on Kawhi, man. If Kawhi shows up and he gives you just playoff Kawhi, if he's able to give you 25 and let's say 25 and 7, Clippers gonna run away with it. I'm super encouraged by what I saw. I don't think Kawhi is gonna have another game where he looks that discombobulated, where he has 7 turnovers. Kawhi is gonna be Kawhi. I anticipate the Clippers bouncing back in game 2. It's coming back to Inglewood 1-1, man.
Hey, and it's gonna be some good play. They play tomorrow night, so that's gonna be fun. So before we move on from our LA squads and talk some more NBA playoffs, who do you got as far as with like the most pressure going into game 2? Is it the Lakers? Is that the thing you worry about?
Nobody in this city, unless you're one of those 10 Clipper fans, expects or anticipates anything out of the Clippers. Everybody, specifically after the Lakers acquired Luka Doncic, had the Lakers penciled in for the Western Conference Finals. If they get bounced in the first round, it's going to be all type of rioting outside of Staples, man. So you got to go with the Lakers.
Hey, we're going to start the Misfits protests where we're going to have to be like, y'all got to get Brian. I hate to say it because I respect Brian, but you just like, if it don't work, he's too similar to Reeves and Luka to where you like, yo, like something has to be done. But Ben, shout out my guy Ben. He said 11 Clipper
11.
fans.
All right,
Okay,
so hey,
there's
I
a
stand
new one.
corrected. It's 11
There's a new
now.
one. But
Yeah.
I do think with this game too, the Clippers are under less pressure because, like you said, people don't expect as much. And plus, also, they're going home after this. They can go down 0-2, and you will feel confident that, all right, they're going home. They've been great at home. They can win too. The Lakers go down 2-0, and they got to go to Minnesota. The series
It's
is probably
the
already
end
over.
of the world as we know it.
So hopefully they can figure something out. But let's keep it going. NBA playoffs, some great action today. 420 shots were going up high. People were probably feeling that way. And it was some good hoop, especially late. Let's start with that Warriors game. For a series that I picked the Warriors to win in 6. I just think that like I've been saying, the playoffs are a different monster. Some of these young teams just ain't ready for it. And it showed tonight. Like the defense of the Warriors really surprised me. And Steph Curry, he is a cheat code. Like whoever he sold his soul to, whichever basketball god gave him what he got, bro is throwing up shots that you don't even shoot at the park, and he knocking them down, man.
Hey, you ever like be on the court late at night and you just throwing shots up to be like, all right, and then like you see the rim actually growing and you just can't miss. That's exactly what happened with Steph today. It was just like he was out there just practicing, just heaving up whatever, seeing if he could knock it down, and it was going in. When you get 31 points out of Steph Curry, he shot over 50% from the 3, 12 of 19 from the field. Listen to me, man. You're in for a long night. Then, in addition to that, you got a Robin. You got Hemi Butler. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Going for 25, 7, and 6. So, and he had 5 steals. So he was doing everything on both sides of the ball. Listen, if Golden State is able to play like that,
get them.
They can make a run. They can make a run.
It might be a broom that's ready for the Rockets because you can't get 7 points from what's supposed to be your star guy in Jalen Green. You can't get 10 points from Van Vliet. Like you guys are on proving grounds. I don't know if you tapped into Battle Rap, but in Battle Rap, they had a thing called proving ground for a minute, so where it's the battle rappers trying to come up and make their name so that they can get onto the top cards. These guys are in their proving grounds, and it's tough because you get a tough test right away. Like some teams, Thunder got they test ain't too big. The Rockets get an AP test, you know what I'm saying? Taking it back to high school days. They get an AP test with the Warriors, and they just didn't look ready, man. They just looked like a team that was not ready for the moment. I know it's game 1, but they ain't never been in this type of moment. And you got a guy like Steph who's won championships. You got a guy like Jimmy who done took teams to the finals that we didn't expect to make it. So if I'm the Rockets fans, I'm getting ready to clean up my rocket ship and probably
I'm not gonna go that far. I don't think they're gonna get swept out. And the reason being, man, they got Ime Udoka, man. And I think he's a phenomenal coach. Personally, once he got fired from Boston, I was like, I hope the Lakers, made a play at him. But
Ime ain't on the court though. That's
no. And you can't coach people to make shots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a make or miss league.
Yeah.
They just didn't fall tonight. I think Jalen Green is gonna bounce back. He understands like he's got to carry the team. Listen. It's a long series. I'm not worried about Houston. They're not going to get swept. They're not going to get swept. I guarantee it. I'm gonna take it. They might get swept. They might win 1 or 2. Yeah, they didn't win 1 or 2, but
and
it's gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be a dogfight.
Young studs got to grow up. 8 points. Got to be better. This is a perfect test for them. They gotta do better if they want to pass this test.
Can we please talk about Alperen Sengun and his poster on Draymond Green?
Oh yeah, that
right
there.
That's gonna live in NBA playoff like mortality forever. That's gonna live in immortality. That right there.
That proves this one thing to me. For when Draymond say, "Oh, I would have been able to guard Shaq and these bigs in the '90s," no, you could not, because Sangoon went to work, 26 points, got the poster dunk that everybody gonna remember, especially if the Rockets somehow win this series. But it just proved that for me. Like, you had no chance dealing with them all night, dealing with David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Shaq,
Hakeem
Mutombo, Alonzo
Olajuwon. I
Mourning,
think Mark
Dream.
Eaton would have gave him buckets.
Man, Rick Smits would have attacked them. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like,
Dale Davis would have put a hurting on that boy, man.
Antoine Davis. It would have been people banging him and smacking him up. And it just showed it, but it's gonna come down to the wing players, because Jimmy Butler, like you call him, Steph Curry, they gonna show up, right? They gonna give you anywhere from 55 to 60 points a game. Can Jalen Green and Amin Thompson get at least close to that with the help of Fred VanVleet? Because if not, it is going to get ugly, and I'm going to have my broom ready to sweep the Rockets away. And I was hoping to go to Houston. I'm like, if we get a Lakers-Houston series, I might go out there. You know, I got fam I got to tap in with.
You know,
so I will go to a game.
I never been to Houston. Game two. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be the difference maker in game two. It's the real BP, not Ben Papp. It's gonna be Brandon Pody. You know, he's gonna, you know, the lefty. He's gonna have a big game two. Watch, shots were there for him. You know, he didn't have necessarily a great game. He was 5 for 13, 3 from 8 from deep, but 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He still found a way to contribute. Let his shot start falling. I'm telling you, it's an issue.
If they go down 2-0, Rockets are going to be in deep trouble, because it's going to be tough to win there in the Bay Area. But hey, let's talk about, it was some butt whoopings today, and it was one with a real large belt. And it was the Oklahoma City Thunder who knocked off the Memphis Grizzlies 131-80. It looked like me versus my nephew, NBA 2K, and I'm showing him, all right, let me really play you and show you that you have no chance. That's what it looked like today. And I felt bad because, you know, I'm a big Ja fan, and to see his team not show up for him, it was trash, man. I was not a fan of that. What's your thoughts on that, Elam?
Man, Shea had a bad game. 4 for 13, 15 points, 1 for 7 from deep, and they blew them out. We kept talking about, where's the second scorer going to come from? Was it going to be Shea? Was it going to be Jalen? Was it going to be Lou Dortz? Listen to me, dude. They had 6 players scoring double figures. Aaron Wiggins came off the bench and dropped 21 on their head. Shea, 19. Jalen, 20. They even had Zay Hartenstein give them 14 and 8. Listen.
And you ain't see me out there? I got a bucket.
Listen, you know, I see the box score right now. Listen, even the dudes that wipe up the sweat off the floor, they was dropping buckets. Listen, listen. This team is already in the second round. I think losing to the Lakers woke something up in them. Being pushed to the brink in that second game before Luka was booted out the game, that woke something up in it. I think they needed to suffer that. They needed to suffer some loss, to sit with it for a little bit. Listen, they look like a team possessed right now, and I keep saying they're the most complete team in the NBA from top to bottom. There's nothing that they can't do. It's nothing that they can't defend, and they just got too many. They got too many weapons, man.
And you know, I just think they got a great matchup. They were able to avoid the Golden State Warriors, and for me, it comes down to, if you really that guy, if you really a dog, if you really as great as you say you are, people talk about you are, you got to show up. Jaren Jackson Jr., you scored only 4 more points than you and I, Elam. It's like, come on, man. You get in award talks, you get all-star. People start saying crazy stuff like, it may be his team now. No, it ain't. He ain't that guy. The playoffs brings out who the real dogs.
Man, you got to
John struggled too.
You're not that guy, but you're not that guy.
not that guy, and it was just BTA from the jump. It was embarrassing. And I was talking to producer Ben before the show, and I'm like, see, we grew up in the 2000s, 90s. You ain't seen no 8Cs just get pummeled like this. Like, they were going to try to fight you and make it at least tough, even though they'll find a way to lose. But to come out and lose by, what's that, 50, 51 points? Come on, Elon.
Listen, I needed Ja to turn it to Ja Wick. You know what I'm saying? I needed him to start, gunning people down, throw a grenade at the OKC bench, something, take a pencil out and ram it into somebody's ear. Listen, this series is over. It's over. Not even close. It's over.
But they still got, things can happen. We see some tricky stuff, so we got to give that a little pass. But game 1, Boston. We got to talk Boston, Orlando. Boston did what they were supposed to do. I expect them to win in 4 or 5 games. I like Banchero. He came out, was aggressive, but the other guys got to step up. Like, that's what's so crazy about today's NBA.
I mean, you had Franz Wagner.
Franz did some stuff.
He showed up. He balled out. But it's like when you got it's ankle monitor. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Like he's a 2-time champ. Like, you got to step up. Jonathan Isaac. This is supposed to be your moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You still a young guy. You've been kind of riddled with injuries, but it's on you to step up. Your 2 biggest names, they showed up. They gave you 36 and 23 respectively. When your next highest score is only, he only has 7 points.
7 points? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much you're gonna do.
You figure out, that's why all this talk about the regular season, these young teams, these young whatever. I really get to see what you about in the playoffs. And it ain't just about your stats. It's about your impact on winning. And these guys have to step up and make things happen. If you want to try to upset this Boston team that's trying to go back-to-back to create some distance, but you gotta step it up. You gotta play better. Like you said, when your 2 big stars show up, they're showing you this is what we're doing. But they need these other guys to step up, because if not, it's gonna be another. I might have to have 2 brooms for 2 series to start off in the NBA playoffs because it didn't look great.
And then conversely, on the opposite side, when Megamind is dropping 30 on you, it's a long day, man. It's not much you could do. Peyton Pritchard, 2 P's, like, gave you 19. Listen, we're not even talking Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum yet. We're not even talking Kristaps Porzingis, who had 5 points. We're not talking Drew Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. Those are your 2 leading scorers of the game. Listen, man, this series is over. Stick a fork in them.
And this is why, they're a cheat code, because Jason Tatum can struggle and they can still make it happen. So shout out to them. But it was another game today, another BTA game. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they look for real, man. They knocked off the Heat, who are the first number 10 seed to ever get into the playoffs through the play-in. They smacked them up 121-100, taking care of home, looking really good. They looking like, hey, we want to make sure we see Boston in the conference finals, and they did their thing. What was your thoughts on what we saw from them tonight, Elan?
You know what? As much as everybody talks about Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, man, playoffs, when the playoffs come down to it, it comes down to your wing players, man. And Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Ty Jerome
showed up, boy.
Too much. It's too much. It's too much shooting. It's too much spacing. They have too much gravity. I don't think this series is going to be close. I understand Tyler Hero, he showed up. Bam, he showed up, but the Heat just don't have much, man. They're a losing team. They're a team with a losing record that snuck into the playoffs, man, and they're completely overmatched.
Tyler Hero clearly ain't the hero that the Miami Heat need right now. They need more. Andrew Wiggins, it's not enough. What can you say? It's not enough. Bam, it's not enough. Cleveland Cavaliers, they are a team destined. They're like, we are going to this conference finals, and we're going to take every little moment that we need. They take care of business. When you have your 3 wing guys scoring like that, it's tough to beat them. And like you said, this isn't the old NBA. And even back then, the old NBA, you needed a wing. Kareem needed Magic Johnson to help win his 5 championships. Shaq needed Kobe to help them win 3 straight. So if your wings are balling, it gives you the best chance in the playoffs. And with those 3 guys hooping like that, it is going to be tough to beat them. People out there, let us know, man. What's you guys' thoughts of the playoffs? What was your most shocking moment so far? And what are your expectations for what we're going to see the rest of this first round? It's been good. It's been surprising. It's been everything we need. I love this time of the NBA season. It's the best time, NBA playoffs, baby. But let's keep it on the hardwood, Elam, because last week we had our ladies here in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Sparks. They had their draft. First of all, they were clearly geniuses by trading that number 2 overall pick because they were able to go get Kelsey Plum. We thought that it was going to be somebody that, we thought it was going to be a stud that they were going to have a chance to get. You thought maybe Kiki, but who was that went back to college? I can't even remember.
Bro, Lauren Betts,
Flage.
No, bro. Did you not see who Seattle selected with the number 2 pick?
No, I saw that. Yeah, she might catch a body.
Listen to me. That's Lady Wemby right there. And you telling me we could have had her in the draft? I didn't even know about her until after Paige Beckers went off the board. And I'm looking I'm looking at her tape. I'm like, oh, she can hoop. Oh, wait, she's banging out effortlessly, 1 hand, 2 hands.
I need to see it in the game consistently, but I like what the Sparks did. They got some dogs, man, and they needed that. Like, you have your stars, Plum, Rakia, Cameron Brink.
Rakia was like, oh Lord, please don't let me be the first woman in WNBA history to get dunked on in a game. Listen,
yeah, but you rather have her or Plum, who can come give you 20 a game.
I already told you, I'm going with the youth movement. I don't think you were saying the Sparks were making the playoffs last year. I told you it wasn't happening. The Sparks are not going to make the playoffs again this year.
Wow.
When you just factor in injuries and how physical these women play, somebody's bound to get injured. But I would have loved to see them commit to building youth. I rather would have stayed at number 2 and gone with Dominique and just built through the draft. That's just me.
I like their picks, man. I think that they got some dogs to go with their star players. We know who their big 3 is. Hell, their 4 is Rakia, it's Cameron Brink, it's Kelsey Plum, and then you have De'Erica Hamby. Like, that's your 4. But you get some players that's going to come in that can fit a role, that kind of played some similar roles in college. You have, you get a 3-and-D type player who's gritty, that's ready to go. You get a physical player there. Then you get another wing that can come in and fit. And they're trying to change the game, I was saying it when it comes to Ray Burrell. Like, she's the prototypical 3-and-D player. It ain't enough, man. But I feel it's enough. I think that they did enough to make them. If Cameron Brink is healthy and that team stays healthy with the draft picks that were made, I believe that the Sparks can fight to be in that top 8 this year.
Listen, they had 3 draft picks. Only one of them is making the team. I thought McKenzie they just resigned what's the little lefty guard? Her name escapes me right now. But they're bringing players back that were on the team last year.
Yeah, Ari, you talking about Ari McDonald?
Ari, yeah, they re-signed Ari. She's gonna make the team. You got KP, you got Cam, you got Rakia. Like, you have you have like a solid bench. You have a solid bench. Only one of those players is making the team, bro.
But I think Sinai, Sinai and King, they're they're going to compete for that. Honestly, I hate to say it because I'm such a Ray Burrell fan. They might compete for her spot. You know,
Ray
one of
making it
them out.
seem.
If one of them outplay her in camp, they might say, "Hey, like
I think the
we can
one
use them."
I think the player that should have an alarm going off is Zaya Cook. But my thinking is, and you
Oh,
know how high I am
Zaya's
on Zaya
already
Cook.
cooked. Zaya's
She's
already
not
cooked.
cooked, bro. She hasn't been given a fair shot, bro. She hasn't. We can. This is a whole nother show. Like, I want to see Zaya have an opportunity to play because I can guarantee you what's going to happen. If she doesn't make the Sparks team, she's going to land with another team in the W and she's going to go off.
Yeah, but she's not even with the squad, man. She's not even. She's already out of there. That's why I said
What?
she's cooked. Yeah, she's with the Seattle Storm. That's why there's spots there to be made. But I do like Barker. I think that she is that prototypical, like Ray Burrell. She's a 3-and-D player that this team needs. She can knock down the three. She's a good defender. She's very feisty. She has some height. I think that what the Sparks are doing after drafting Cameron Brink and Rakia, then you add these three players who are just all dogs. I talked to Coach last week and was like, "Hey, they're dogs, and we want to try to let teams know that we are going to be dogs when you have to deal with us." And I just like what they're doing. I think that it really helps them. Of course, it's going to come down to their stars. Like I said, Rakia, Cameron, Kelsey Plum, and De'Erica Hamby has to be stars of stars. But I like the pieces that they're putting together. We're going to see what Coach Roberts is. But if she can come and do her job, man, I think the Sparks are going to be really, really tough. And they're going to give us a third playoff team when it comes to basketball in LA, and that is the Los Angeles Sparks. Look out, man. I believe. I know you don't, but I believe.
Listen, the Sparks don't make the playoffs. You got to go pale face for a
Hell
whole
fake.
week. Whole week. Cut it all off.
Oh, shave it? Ooh. I can do that.
All right.
That can happen. That's possible. But shout out to the Sparks, man. We're getting closer, a month away. WNBA is coming, man. So I hope y'all ready. Let's see. Like last year was such a great wave of attention, fandom, and everything. Let's see if they can continue with year 2 of Rakia, Cameron Brink, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. It's gonna be a fun season. I'm excited. So shout out to the Sparks, man. WNBA basketball. Clap it up for some WNBA hoop. I can't wait.
If you have yet to attend a Sparks game, I'm telling you, you have no idea what you're missing. DJ Mosky has the arena going up from start to finish. You got to come just for Mosky, but the atmosphere, it's legit. Like it's a legit dope atmosphere. The fans in the stands, they're super encouraging. They're going up. Personally, I think Spark fans are the most rabid fan base of all the three basketball teams. You know what I'm saying? Like people really cheer. They're into the game.
And especially they got some names, and if they can win, it's gonna bring some great attention to the Sparks. So make sure y'all tapping in LA Sparks, baby. So we want the last thing. Not last thing, got a couple things LA, but UCLA. Elam, your alma mater. They look like they might have found their guy with the transfer. You gotta help me with his name, Elam. I don't got the oops in me. So but yeah, they find a guy, the former stud. He was the number 1 guy when it came to the transfer portal, and he is going to be a UCLA Bruin. And we've been like, hey, they are quarterback away. I like some stuff that Coach Deshaun Foster got with his team. If you can just get a quarterback, it makes things easier. They tried Ethan Garbers last year, but it just wasn't enough once again. But Westwood might be going up. They like, hey, our quarterback might be better than that team. And what's that? What's the color? Something in gold. What is that? What they call it? Maroon?
Crimson. Crimson and gold.
Crimson and gold. Here we go. Crimson and gold. But what's your thoughts on this, man? I like it. If he can come and play, he played in the SEC, which is the peak of football. Now he's going Big Ten. If he could carry over some of that and bring some confidence to this offense, I think it's a good look.
Nico Iamavia. Listen to
me. Sound close to Rocky Maivia, and you know what we feel about him.
Listen, I had an opportunity to watch him at Warren. My little cousin played safety.
Okay.
On the team. I wasn't really impressed, even when he was in high school. And the crazy thing is, he had D1 talent on offense. I want to say his running back, two of his receivers ended up going to go play D1. So it wasn't like the offense was bereft of talent. The ball comes out of his hand remarkably. It's beautiful. But his decision making, his anticipation, his accuracy, like all of those were subpar. And I remember watching them play, and I was just like, this is the dude going to Tennessee. It was too many times, he tried scrambling, and he had already suffered an injury in the first half. He came back in the second half, and he's still playing like,
but
the team could afford to have him get knocked out of the game. Like, and you saw it at Tennessee. A lot of his decision making, his accuracy.
No, yeah.
Your favorite quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes is Jimmy Garoppolo. Why is that? Because he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
Brock Purdy too.
Once again, well, Brock didn't overthrow nobody. Once again, Nico was overthrowing people. If you go look at that tape of him playing against Arkansas, I don't think you're going to find worse tape from a quarterback. And it's crazy to see, him try to play that leverage. And it's not him. Like, the kid is a good kid.
Yeah.
I don't like speaking ill of nobody, especially my Usis, but like, he's got people close to him that's giving him really bad advice.
Other than that Ohio State game, I like the way that he finished. He finished with 4 tubs against Vanderbilt, 4 TDs against UTEP.
It's Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but it's still an SEC school. You got to win that and help them secure a spot into the playoffs. Like he showed, and then think about the pressure of it. A freshman quarterback at Tennessee, you looking at the ghost pass, looking at you to see it, say, I see the next guy. And he was able to do some things. His numbers ain't too ugly. 2,616 yards, 19 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He was his QBR was 70.5. Like, he showed some spurts. Of course, he has to get better. But you hoping that this offseason, he gets better. Now he's going to be at UCLA, to where I know the SEC, maybe the Big Ten was probably a little better last year, for sure. But I know the SEC has those athletes, and he was able to do some things. So
listen, it's not like UCLA is going to have the talent that Tennessee had.
No,
it's not like, he's going against a top-heavy league like the SEC. Really, the SEC is really 4 teams, Georgia, Alabama, and LSU. Outside of that, everybody else is mid. Yeah. The Big Ten, listen, I'm telling you right now, the Big Ten is the best conference in college football, top to bottom. Okay. UCLA, they'll improve because I think Deshaun Foster is a phenomenal coach. But Lincoln Riley, Ohio State, Oregon, like, there's too many teams. Rutgers is going to be back. Nebraska is going to be back. Like, there's too many teams that's going to be vying, for one of those 12 spots when it comes to the playoffs, man. And Nico, you're not going to have the time in the pocket. Your receivers aren't going to be that dynamic. They're like, who's the offensive coordinator now at UCLA? Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough for him.
So, he got to prove his worth. He was a 5-star guy. He got to prove his worth, show you ready to go. He's closer to home. And UCLA just has a guy. At least they can say, let's build around him. They had Moore a couple years ago. They thought he was going to be the guy for a few years, but then he left and go to Oregon. You got a guy. Now you got to build around him, make him better, and help him succeed. Before we switch gears from all LA topics.
Yeah, I just want to go back from that. Sorry, I got to go back. Hey, guys. My name is Ben, by the way. I'm jumping in for a minute. I just heard a take that I did not like. Eric said Rutgers? You saying Rutgers is
Rutgers is a solid team. What are you talking about?
A solid team. I made no changes. Rutgers.
I thought he said Rutgers, like Rucker Park. But Rutgers, no.
All right, look. The Big Ten has better teams than the SEC. The SEC has more depth, though, and I'll die on that hill. They have more depth.
Yeah,
who are you talking about?
South
Where's the
Carolina,
depth? TAMU, Texas A&M,
LSU is pretty good. Florida was a good team last year. Billy Napier is solid. They had a hard schedule all year. They beat some solid teams.
Yeah.
Look, all right. A&M, not so bad. They were ranked most of the year. They had one bad loss at the end there. I hate the SEC. It's coming from me. I can't stand it.
He beat Alabama.
Deeper than the Big Ten. The Big Ten is better. The SEC is a deeper conference.
Hey,
no,
and
SEC is top heavy, man.
It's not.
The SEC is the girl on the pole with with phenomenal fronts, but when she turns around, it's a flat back, man.
Yeah.
No. Hey, oh my God.
Hey, Nico's gonna be ready to go.
Has the most overall talent, and I hate saying that. I truly do.
Hey, shout out to producer Ben. Producer Ben tapped in. He said he heard enough from Eric's nonsense. I'm with you, Ben.
It's making me sick. It is making me sick behind the camera here. I cannot stand it.
But hey, let's switch gears. Shout out my guy Ben, man. You have to tap in for that. But let's switch gears. KTLA, they had some stuff pop up on social media.
It wasn't stuff, bro.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice, but they had
this the Misfits. We not here to be nice, bro.
Yeah, they had some BS, some real BS. You got to be better, y'all. Like I was at KTLA for 2 years, but a long time ago, 2009 to about 2011. And to see this, it was like, come on, y'all. Like,
wait, see what?
What is going on?
See
the N-word.
What happened? What happened?
With the ER. Like, it wasn't no A at the end. It was an ER at the end of that N-word. And it was just not what that was supposed to ever be shown on anything. I don't want to hear no technical difficulties. I don't want to hear AI.
Errors, bro. They hit you. They hit you with the Django Unchained.
Oh my God,
Samuel L. Jackson. They hit you with the Leonardo DiCaprio. Listen, they said, and this is gonna bleep out. They said, "Nigger." All right.
make sure you beep that out. But yeah, it's like, bro, like, how could you let that happen? You're in the second biggest market in the country. You're battling CBS. NBC, these channels, local channels here, ABC, and you do something like this is very, very unprofessional, very amateur, very bush league. It's
bro. Listen. This only happens. These technical errors, these digital gaffes only happen when it comes to Black people in Black America. And it's so crazy because there's been, all this dialogue and talk about, Palestine and Israel, and any type of critique, anything that's said could be somewhat critical of the state of Israel is deemed and labeled anti-Semitic, right? And this is why I tell you all the time, when it comes to us, like, stuff like this is permissible. Like, nothing is gonna happen. The only thing that's gonna happen is people gonna be upset. It's gonna be, people getting off memes and tweets and think pieces and all that other type of stuff. And they'll sit down with the NAACP and they'll make a contribution. They'll apologize. But like, when it comes to us, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you remember in 2020, the New York Post, they labeled BLM protests as thugs reign. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in 2019, 2020, Yahoo, tweeted out the N Navy, you know what I'm saying? And that took a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this only happens to us, and then it's always, it was a technical error. And like, you can insult a lot of stuff, but you can't insult my intelligence. To say that you were trying to put on a filter, like, the filter and tweets are not even in the same realm under the menu, bro. Like, let's get real.
And you know what it is, Elam? It just comes down to us, to Black folks, to not just take these simple apologies and things like that. It's about really stepping to these companies and be like, yo, like really pressing them and letting them know like this is not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like this should never happen. Like, how do you have a technical error that leads to that word? Like there's how is that even in the system for it to even happen? You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
like I couldn't even explain it.
It's coded and codified bigotry, man. Like at the end of the day, that's all it is. And it's so crazy. Like I said, you know, this stuff is systemic. And I when things like this happen, especially now, like having gone to Annenberg, you know, the world's premier journalism school, and being able to learn about the business of the media, stuff like this, it's like it's not unintentional, bro. Like somebody who had the capacity, it was probably an intern, you know, was playing around on their Twitter, their X handle, and tweeted it out. That's what happened. And my thing is like, don't try to like throw boo-boo in my face and tell me it's chocolate. Like, come on, man, just be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as I know, the person who tweeted it out, there was no accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like
we didn't hear anything.
They immediately went into PR scramble mode. And the crazy thing is that, and like I'm speaking from personal experience. Personal experience. Google the name. Listen, it was stories about me that were written while I was in jail that weren't even true. They didn't even have the entire story yet. And it was like, you know, it took a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? And so like to see this, it's a I feel incensed by it, because it's like y'all sitting up here playing on my intelligence. Y'all already play with my reputation. Y'all already put smut on my name, right? But now you're trying to insult my intelligence too? Like, come on, man.
And it's somebody, you know, and it's crazy because like you said, we just don't get enough. When something like this happens, we don't get an explanation. They don't tell us somebody lose their job. None of that. They just kind of like, hey, we sorry, let's move on. And we allow them to, so they continue to do it. But we have to start putting our foot down and saying, nah, we need some heads to roll because this is unexplainable, bro. But Elam, before we get out of here, NFL draft is coming up next week, right? We're usually there, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of, you know, your situation, that was at the draft, which is crazy. But with the draft coming up, it's going to be there in Green Bay. Man, just how special is it for these kids that's going to get drafted, and what is there, you know, to look forward to for the draft before we go?
Man, I love being there to see lives genuinely change. You know what I'm saying? To see dreams come true. Like every time somebody comes to the days, like to be able to see the gleam in their eyes, man, like they're just brimming with confidence and joy. Like I wish everybody had the opportunity and experience to just sit in the room to feel the energy, man. Like it's not often that you see or are a part of somebody's dream come true. Like these dudes have been playing this game since they were kids, since they were, you know, 5-6 years old, and now they're going to go play in the NFL. It's such an amazing feeling, dude. Like I wasn't gonna go to Green Bay, Wisconsin anyway. Like I thought you were gonna go to hold it down for us. So this is the one draft that I think I'm going to miss in my career, or anytime it's in Green Bay, I won't be going. But it's such a special time, man. It's a special moment, bro. And it's for me at least, going to the Detroit, man. Like after the year that I had, to be back at the draft. I felt that same energy, man. Like my dream, like this is my dream. I'm living my dream.
Yeah. So shout out to the NFL draft, man. Going to be tapped in. Chief fan here on this side, the Niner fan there on the other side. Great experience. A lot of kids' lives are going to be changed, and it's going to be a great, great thing to see. Shout out to my guy Ben. He said, "Don't sleep. Green Bay, top 20 drunkest counties in the country." That's why I don't need to be there.
Yeah, I don't need to be there.
Yeah, I would have been going up too crazy.
Hey, it's crazy because remember in Detroit, we were just like, oh man, let's go hang out a little bit. Let's go let down our hair. We see some people who were clearly having a good time. they were clearly having a good time. We said, hey, what's up? We'll see you back in LA. But then we sitting at the bar, man, and it was just like some funny interactions and conversations and just funny energy. You know, just around the draft, bro.
So we're gonna have to make it out. If your Misfits gonna be in Green Bay sometime soon, be on the lookout for it. Last thing before we get out of here, Kendrick, SZA, GNX tour. It began there in Minneapolis. We at the anniversary time, the year after the battle heard around the world, where Drake started it off after like that with push-ups. But you know, Kendrick is continuing to have his parade. The GNX, he did Euphoria. He did Not Like Us. He had the fake deposition where he's sitting down and they saying drop, drop, drop. It was sold out. SZA did her thing. It looked really dope. Dot was out there super sagging, looking super Compton, super LA out there.
You see the Malcolm X chain?
Hey, the big Malcolm X chain. The GNX came out there. Like, it was so dope. And it's so crazy because back in the day, 10 years ago, you had no idea what these concerts look like. Nowadays, you see everything. Bro, you have the whole 51 song set list, bro. You saw the set list, and it is crazy. I know everybody had a ball, and I know it's going to continue to be more videos, more stuff. K-Dot is having the
time of his life.
Hey, maybe the greatest 2 years of hip hop, bro. Maybe the greatest 2 years of hip hop. DJ Head, shout out my guy. He said next week is going to be one of the best weeks in hip hop. So I don't know what that meant. Is Doc going to throw a deluxe GNX album? Is he going to drop something? But so far, so good. It looked great. They started off in Minneapolis. Shout out to K-Dot SZA, man. PG Lang and
I'm putting the onus on you. You got to make calls behind the scenes. We need tickets.
Yeah, I got to.
When Doc comes to LA, his first show or the last show, whatever, we just need to be in the building.
We'll try to make something happen.
Listen, I'm super excited, man. Like, I wonder, you know, how this tour is going to unfold as it, you know, moves around the country. People were saying that he couldn't sell out stadiums. I'm like, you sound silly.
Yeah,
just knowing like what's to come.
Yeah,
like I know Dot has more cooking. Like, I don't know if you heard Punch said that there was like an 18-minute Euphoria track.
Yeah, I heard that back then from the inside the team. They like, bro, got an 18-minute. I'm like, 18 minutes? I'm like, yo, like it's about to be like 300 bars, bro. With Game. But man, I'm just excited. I'm just excited because of Dot, what he's doing for hip hop. SZA, her doing her thing. And you know, it's so hip hop, and that's what hip hop needs to be back in the forefront. They got the #1 track for 8 weeks straight with Luther. They're doing their thing. And
what's the number 2 song?
It was Nokia, but our song jumped that. So
exactly,
he's still smacking Drake. And with social media, everybody posting, like, you really want to see each day, and I cannot wait till he get to Toronto because I want to see what's that going to look like. Just that whole situation. I hope it don't get ugly, but I can't wait. But I'm tapped in. GNX, Kendrick, SZA doing their thing. Shout out to Punch. Shout out to Curtis King, who had the dope interview with him. But we thank y'all. Shout out to y'all for tapping in with us. The Misfits holding it down. Mykell, Elam, any final words for the people?
Hey, Toronto, if a hair is touched on Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's head,
we out there.
Somebody is getting their maple syrup spilled. I'm telling y'all right now. We are the Misfits. Don't fit in. Find a way to stand out. Till next week, we out of here. Peace.